Your product doesn't really matter if we're talking about being successful on Amazon. Watch this video to find out why. So in our conversation with small business owners, because we work with small brands, we often interact with the main decision maker, still the founder, CEO, who is often also product developer, right? The person that created the product or products, within the brand. And sometimes when we talk about growth path, what it takes to be successful, what are the needs for marketing, resourcing, general behaviors, right? I often get responses from the other side of the table on benefits of a product, meaning, there will kind of a goal, the theme is really, okay, because we have such good product, fill in the blank, that will kind of answer the needs for marketing. So because we have such a good product, this will happen. Because we have such a good product has more features, that's free of this, that's natural, recyclable, fill in whatever the product benefits, and then we'll be successful, right? Or we'll do well. And while I do usually do my best to be respectful, because I am respectful of just because of the product development process, the tears, the time, the effort, the disappointments, the iterations, the money, the hours, sacrifices, time away from your family because you're obsessed with this other baby you're growing. Like I respect all of that, but my job is not to necessarily be liked by you. My job is to be truthful, transparent about what it truly is like to be successful on Amazon, to have a long-term sustainable and profitable channel, which means that because I'm by nature a fairly blunt person, which means that sometimes I say things that you may not like to hear. And one of those things is what I'm talking about today, that in order to be successful on Amazon, your product really doesn't matter that much. Let me kind of talk a little bit about why. So Amazon is what I call it cruel meritocracy. Whoever comes in to the platform, there's nobody really gets differentiation unless you're a super, super huge brand, right? So Amazon eventually can give little rewards, and we see that with our clients where you get certain perks. But that's because you're already proven that you have what it takes, because you've already shown enough velocity, success, supported by reviews and sales and so on, and your advertising spend, that you will be successful no matter what. So when you come into conversations about Amazon, when you come into Amazon Marketplace, the baseline is you have a good product. You have to have good product because there is not really faster and more brutal and more honest response and market feedback than Amazon reviews. So you have to have good product, but you don't have to have the best product. So if you have product differentiation, of course it's important. If your product is premium quality, that's your target market is higher income, educated customer, and your product is premium, tailoring to that, absolutely that's important. But that's not necessarily why you will be successful. Because again, your product quality is a baseline. I think you can, we see that on Amazon all the time. Just look at the first page results of any category. Often mediocre products do really well, but with good marketing. You can't really, so you can grow with just a good product, not necessarily the best, a good product. But if you have other things at play, again, if you have the right behaviors and then you have marketing and you're consistent with Amazon and you reinvest and so you can definitely grow. You can't really scale, I think truly scale without excellent products, scale to the, to the level of Apple's and Facebook's of the world, because your product your product has to replicate yourself, right? It has to be a leverage of its own, a good leverage. But you can grow with a mediocre product. You can go with good product. So when I say that your product doesn't matter, it's not about you can come in with a crappy product. A lot of our clients, I would say actually the majority of our clients, I don't know why it kind of fell into that, are premium products in their respective categories. So we often have to work with higher prices in the competitive space that usually lower prices. We're often one of the highest, so we kind of have to combat that because Amazon is a very transactional platform. It's very comparable, like it's very price driven. So, we do know what it's like to sell premium product on Amazon. So again, it's not about you coming in with a crappy product. So, but you can have a commodity product and do well. So your baseline is established that you have a really good product, you've put out time into it, but do not look at it as the reason you'll be successful. So don't, so this is, with this video, I encourage you to think, not to fall into the trap of, well, my competition is I don't understand. They're not, they have crappy product and they're doing a lot more and they have all these reviews. That's just an unproductive rabbit hole. Right? So they're obviously doing better because they're doing something else that works. So you saying, well, I have better product, it puts you on a productive thought process, because if you already have good product, it's obviously not about product. So we can't really rely on that. We should leverage that, but we can't really use that as a lever. We can't really use that as a biggest factor. So we have to be, something else is missing, right? And most of the time it's really marketing or resources or the right perspective, like a long-term perspective. So those are really the combination of factors. Sometimes, I do get the business owners that say, well, they spend a lot of time and pretty much all of their money, financial resources on creating this really, really good product, but then we have nothing else to work with in order to grow it, and I can't really do anything. We cannot do anything because it's, in competitive marketplace, in competitive landscape, you have to have more than a good product. So because I know you believe in your product and know who your customer is, you understand, you have your product differentiation, we already take that as a given. So we need to understand that. We need to know the category that you operate in. So we have to, we need to understand who your customer is, but that's a given. So that's the baseline. So we cannot keep going back to the product quality as the excuse of why other things are not working. So maybe if marketing is not working, or we don't have enough focus on that, we don't have the right resources, or our fulfillment is not working, or we just don't have enough financial runway, right? We have to take out profits from day one. So those are really the main reasons why things don't go well on Amazon. So take it with a grain of salt, take it as not me disrespecting your product or your brand or your path to where you are, but as a word of kind of a very honest and direct feedback that when you come into Amazon, just kind of suspend your love for your brand and your product as the main factor of success. So kind of just put that as it's a must, but it's not really the main reason why you'll be or will not be successful. So if you care to be right, that your product is better, that's one thing. But if you care to win, that's different. So I'm talking not to those that care to be right, but to those that care to win. So if you're with me, drop a comment, agree or disagree. And if you want to continue further, if you need help growing on Amazon, you can find us at redrocksecommerce.com. Thanks, we'll talk soon.